Cosplay. Definition: the practice of dressing up as a character from a film, book, or video game. But what if there was more to it than that? Let's go behind the costumes, behind the creative, behind the makeup. Within this community, there is a beacon of humanity that shines through. A beating heart of inspiration, freedom, and acceptance. It brings people together with no judgment, no agenda, and no prejudice. You can be whoever you want to be, and not be judged for who you are. Here you will hear the real-life stories of the cosplay community rarely ever heard. As we go behind the makeup. Joker's Jollies.
Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm known as both Joker's Jollies on Instagram and also One Bad Day Cosplay on Facebook. Growing up, I was always super into Halloween. It was always a huge holiday for me. I was really into Nightmare Before Christmas growing up, so it was kind of hard not to associate that. And part of the reason I always liked it was the whole aspect of dressing up and getting to go and do the little parades in school and whatnot, stuff like that. And so I guess that was always a big part of Halloween for me and the excitement of it anyway. I would say the first character, if I have to think back, that I ever really liked and had a wanted to dress up as, I would say, is probably, ironically, another character who wears purple and green, and that would be Buzz Lightyear from the Toy Story films. When I was little, I used to be super into the movies, and I remember my mom used to work at the Disney store, and I had a costume that I used to like to wear around the house that was a Buzz Lightyear costume. And well, I've been cosplaying since probably, I would say, 2012, and the first convention I went to was OhioCon. I never had dressed up for anything before, and I always had wanted to, and it just seemed like it would be a fun event to go to. So me and my girlfriend Courtney, we decided to go. We hobbled together some costumes, and mine, in fact, was a women's suit jacket that I took. It was a purple suit jacket that I took a skirt that went with it, cut it apart, and sewed it into tailcoats just so I would have an actual tailcoat. And we just grease paint, smeared that on, and sprayed the hair, called it good. And even though looking back at it now, we're like, oh God, what were we thinking? I just instantly was in love with it. It was fantastic. It was a stress relief. It was an opportunity to go somewhere and be something else. It was almost like you were a celebrity of sorts. You would go to this place, and you'd have random people you've never met coming up to you and talking to you, asking for your photo. It's sort of like, it's nice. You go from being that kid who shuts himself in the basement and plays video games to going out and having all these people coming up to you and wanting to talk to you and wanting to take pictures with you like you were some celebrity, and they even kind of treat you like you are. They go, hey Joker. They don't say, hey Keith, random kid, or something like that. It's, hey Joker, hey Harley. They see you as the character. Being in the time I was in college, and as most people do, I did gain weight while I was in school, but my freshman 15 turned into the freshman 50, and it just kept going up and up and up, and as such, it became harder to cosplay and feel more comfortable in a cosplay that as the Joker, where traditionally he's always been very tall and thin, and as I got heavier, it was a little bit harder, and I started feeling more and more insecure. My costume and makeup was I would say getting better, but it was just I continually was gaining weight and was getting feeling more and more self-conscious about it. People started making nasty comments, not in person so much, but if a photo of me was shared online, you would get some people saying unnecessary comments, and as much as you try to turn a blind eye to that type of thing, it's hard to fully block that out. And I'm not going to sit here and say that the only reason I lost weight was due to cosplay. A lot of it was just, it's a personal issue that if you look at yourself in the mirror and you're not happy with what you see, it's very hard to go day to day and feel confident and happy when you don't like the person looking back at you in the mirror. My college graduation was coming up, and I didn't want to regret. I kind of was like I was sick of feeling the way I did about myself, so I decided to try to finally put an effort in to lose a little bit of weight before my graduation. One of those things that over time I noticed the weight started coming off more and more and more, and just watching what I was eating and everything, and that eventually I lost over 120 pounds due to my diet and whatnot. So then as I became more comfortable in my appearance, I noticed I think it reflected more like, just, I think even personality-wise, it made me feel better about myself. I wasn't as afraid to put myself out there as I was before. I would say that losing weight has made me a lot more confident in not only my day-to-day life, but in the cosplay aspect of it as well. That's one thing, I finally did the Killing Joke tourist outfit that he wears when he shoots Barbara, and that was a costume that, due to the nature of it being like the shorter shorts and having to wear white tights and whatnot for it, I wasn't overly confident ever doing that when I was heavier. But that's not to say, and this is the one thing that I want to stress to people, I know from experience, do not let other people tell you you can or cannot cosplay a certain character. You can't, it's not up to them, it's up to you. If it makes you happy and if you feel great going out as this character, if you love it and it makes you're thrilled, and don't let people ruin your fun. Don't let people come and basically just take what you love and smash it to bits. I guess in closing, what I would say is, if I can inspire anyone based off of my weight loss or my costume or anything to basically work to better themselves, or just in general, if I can inspire anyone, I would be thrilled, because it's one of those things that, like I said, I know how it goes to not be happy with yourself, with your weight, to feel hopeless, like it's never going to change, or have people making comments about you or nasty things that don't need said. And it's one of those things that it's like, I feel if I could just help one person get over that, or just encourage them to, maybe for them to lose weight, or them to go out in a costume that they didn't feel comfortable in, then I would be happy if I could do something like that for anybody.
Cosplay. You can be whoever you want to be, and not be judged for who you are. A makeshift purebred that's been spoon-fed since on the assembly line.
So being in a cosplay community is really good. We're like bumping everybody up, and being somebody who suffered depression, that can be really good, because feeling like you're alone when you're not alone. In December of 2014, I contracted meningococcal septicemia strain W, which is one of the rarest strains of meningitis. I was only given 24 hours to live.